Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you, and a little bit of news crossed across the wire today about Rey Mysterio's future in WWE. It turns out that he was doing an interview over in Spain to do some publicity work for the WWE. Who knows if he's doing the whole Sim City, and that's what he's pumping up, or maybe he's just trying to get some overseas sales for WrestleMania, or maybe he's just trying to get them ready for the WWE Network whenever it launches over there. But it seems like if you're even connected anywhere on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, anywhere in the world, you're able to get the WWE Network if you know how to work the internet. But basically, Rey Mysterio basically just answered the rumors that came out, I believe, last week, maybe the week before, just saying that, WWE was counting down the days of Rey Mysterio's contract, and he was just going to be one of the guys pushed out of the company due to them just really not needing them anymore. It's funny that a star like Rey Mysterio would find himself on the outs of WWE when you have guys like JTG and who else are other guys out there just sort of not getting used. Wade Barrett is the guy that's sort of like, he's got a character, but at least he's sort of on TV. And there's other guys just sitting at home doing nothing. JTG is sort of that guy that everybody throws around, is like, what is this guy really doing on the roster? We haven't seen him wrestle in about probably 2 years, I would think, or somewhere around WrestleMania 28 with the buildup of Ryback, somewhere after that with the whole pink eye and Twitter blow up. But basically, Rey Mysterio answered all those things, saying that WWE was his home. WWE is the place that he wanted to retire. He had heard the rumors about AAA, and he has no sort of bad feelings against them or Conan, but that's not the place that he wants to be, and that's not the place that he wants to wrestle. Rey Mysterio, honestly, to me, right here, sounds like a man who's desperate, who's trying to hang on. Listening to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer came out and said that Mysterio's merchandise sales would probably be one of the things that would keep him around. Them being able to sell the masks, them being able to sell tons of shirts. Kids really love Rey Mysterio, even though this guy doesn't seem like he's on the roster all that often. He's not really selling the merch anymore, which is kind of weird. It seems like every kid over the history of time has bought a Rey Mysterio mask. I've got one, and I'm not even really that big a fan of his. I watched a great match of his today on my lunch. Halloween Havoc, 1996. This was Dean Malenko versus Rey Mysterio, opens up the show. It was a cruiserweight title match. Dean Malenko kept the title. I think something in the build-up was that Dean Malenko had stolen Rey Mysterio's mask, because somewhere during the middle of mask, Rey gets the mask back and he unmasks himself and puts the other mask on, because I guess he likes to wrestle in the other mask, and he had won the cruiserweight title wearing the other one, so I guess that was his lucky one. So just right there in the middle of the match, he just pulls one mask off and puts the other one on. The referee sort of blocks it, so you can't get the camera screenshot of what was going on, but kind of weird. But to me, honestly, I mean, Rey Mysterio's done everything. He's been World Heavyweight Champion. How many other guys at his size can really go out there and do it? Rey Mysterio has done everything there is to hang on. He's got 2 strikes against him due to the wellness policy. Even though the wellness policy doesn't even really seem like it's a thing anymore. I mean, when was the last time somebody got busted for doing anything in WWE? And do you really think those guys in WWE are really 100% clean? Maybe they're scratching by on the just being safe, or just maybe they just have tipped off or figured out the system on when they're doing these checks, or if they're even doing these checks anymore. Or maybe they're doing the checks, but they're not searching as thoroughly as possible. It's been a while since we've seen anybody get popped, and it's just honest. I just really don't think it. Rey Mysterio to me isn't a guy. I don't think he's getting busted for cocaine or heroin. If anything, I bet it's just sort of like fat burners or things like that are that aren't really supposed to be over-the-counter medications, or he just didn't have a prescription for it or anything like that. I don't see him as real like a hardcore steroid guy, or a real thorough drug use guy. But according to the rules they've said, they went through and they cleared the books, and somehow Randy Orton got one of his strikes erased due to, some weird rule that they wrote in. But, Mysterio is one of those guys sitting up at the top with 2 strikes on his record, and he's a guy that they can't really put a lot of faith in there. When it comes to WrestleMania 30, more than likely he's just the guy that's going to get tossed into that Andre the Giant Battle Royal deal with the 30 dudes. You look over and you know that, WWE is going to want to keep like one of these, real big stars that attract fans of Mexico. It's weird to say that about Rey Mysterio since he was born in San Diego, but he's huge there. And Alberto Del Rio is another guy, and you look at what was going on in WWE last week, and there wasn't Del Rio on any show last week except for Superstars. And that's not good. I know that WWE has sort of picked up the slack on Superstars, and there's better wrestling going on there, and the matches sort of mean more, but he wasn't on Raw, he wasn't on SmackDown, which shows you that, like, he's not really a piece of the puzzle for WrestleMania at all. And Del Rio's another guy that's probably going to get tossed in that Battle Royal, who's the guy who really has no shot of winning it. Mysterio pretty much is only showing up at WrestleMania to do VIP access. He'll probably be in that Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but it's not like El Torito is going to be the guy that's really, making all these people go to these shows in Mexico. But then again, maybe WWE just thinks really just putting WWE down there and just that on the marquee is going to bring people in to buy tickets and just watch the show. I've always liked Alberto Del Rio. He gets a whole lot of slack on here. Not that many people like him. I really like the way he throws his kicks. He hasn't really got a lot of good wrestling angles, but his wrestling matches have been good. Just sometimes when you watch him, there's no real storyline behind him to get you really pumped up about. Del Rio and Rob Van Dam had great matches last summer. Why were they having matches? Just Rob Van Dam was fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. There was no ongoing thing behind it. There was the what the hell was his name? The name of his announcer. Oh, I forgot his name. Ricardo Rodriguez was out there with Rob Van Dam, and everybody in the world kept on thinking that he was going to turn on him, and he was going to turn on him, and it just never happened. Yeah, kind of weird, but it seems like Rey Mysterio wants to stay in WWE. Do you think WWE is going to let him? That's the question.